Aquarius, this is going to be your December 2019 to January 2020 reading. I hope you are all having happy and safe holidays. And because the channel is a year old now, I thought we would go back into the older spread that I used to use. It's just kind of nice to go back and revisit things. Aquarius. 2019 was such a funny year for a lot of people, and I've mentioned this in some of the other videos. A lot of ups and a lot of downs, and I think people were really trying to clean house in a lot of ways. Aquarius, you were really trying to bring out the best of your spiritual side, your charitable side. You really wanted to share experiences with other people. Maybe you were on message boards or in support groups, or maybe you were just trying to pay more attention to other people's stories as you went. The danger in trying to go inward, and I think I just talked about this for Leo, is that you have to be careful about what that brings out. You know, when you go digging in a garden, you'll get some really nice things. You'll get, you know, soil that really is helpful because the soil is moist. You'll get earthworms, that's really great, but you also may find, you know, an old skeleton buried in there as well. So that was some of the struggle with you. You went deep and you were finding things maybe you didn't like, or maybe when you were digging into your relationships a little bit, you were finding traits about people that you didn't like, and then it became the struggle for you about what do I do with this. There were, you know, some hefty decisions that had to be made, and I think you had a lot of choices about, you know, your intimate relationships, where those would go. I know a lot of you felt like you weren't being supported, or some of you may have felt that you weren't being supported in these relationships, and so there came time to decide, you know, what you would do with this pain that you were feeling. Do you stay in these relationships? Do you clear them out? And I think some of you had a lot of fear about letting people or patterns go that were unhealthy because it's familiar, and so that's a normal feeling. You know, I see a theme coming up in a lot of the readings going into 2020 where people are just, they're feeling unsure. They're feeling unsure of themselves. They're feeling unsure of these changes that they've made. And normally people burst into the new year saying, you know, I have all of these goals and I'm going to do them. And maybe they forget about them in a month or two, but this year is a little different for people. I think there's a little bit of an intimidation factor within yourself, some self-esteem issues about can you really do this, and a fear about making firm decisions. I think there's a concern about, you know, if I make the wrong decision, things can fall apart. If I sit and do nothing, that will be worse. So I think there's an internal struggle with you about, you know, the decisions you're making. You want to make certain decisions, but you may be feeling afraid and nervous about it. And, you know, Aquarius, sometimes something is better than nothing. You know, you already know how certain things have worked out in the past. You already know that if you've been sitting, you know, doing nothing, things will just continue to go their own way, but you won't have any control. I think the thought of trying something is better. And you have to have a little faith in yourself, Aquarius. You have to know that, you know, that you have the capacity. You have the capacity to do these things. So some of the angel cards coming up are communicate clearly, wait. I think this is talking about communication within yourself. I don't think it's necessarily about reaching out right now. And then you have to kind of wait and see how your gut is reacting to these things. If you believe, and I think we just talked about that, I know we did, you have to believe in yourself and know that you have within yourself all of the tools that you need. But I understand when people start flexing those tools, it can be a little intimidating and a little nerve-wracking, but you have to know that you have got this and believe in yourself. Rely on your past experience. You've made decisions in the past. I'm sure you've all made at least one decision that made you nervous. You know, if it didn't turn out the way you imagined, now you have that experience behind you where you can say, okay, I know I can do better. If it did turn out, then you have to know that maybe your initial gut reaction is the way to go. So either way, it's not a negative thing. You know, take this with you. I know this can be a good year for you, Aquarius. We'll talk to you in 2020. Take care.